Sh- Shalom, excuse me, Shalom. Giving all praise to Yahweh Bashem Al Shai Bashem Kakudah Shalom to the 144,000. The rest of you elect out there, Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle the video, This is the Next Big Prophecy. So look out for it. So I wanted to type in, well, I hit the mic and I said Africa digital currency because I said it on my other computer. So I said, let me do it in this room, which is my living room. I put in, I said on the mic, of course, Africa digital currency, and it came out in digital currency. So I said, let me look at this. Like I said last night in a video that I did, I think the last video I did, I was backing off of two other videos. One put up by the elder head of GMS Dallas, and the other one was the elder head, Monaghan Yashawamba. Was I didn't mention his name? Yashawamba, Elder Yashawamba, and Elder Monaghan, the elder head over the DC camp, and they both pretty much talking about the same subject. You know what? So this thing's been trending. So this thing's been trending with us, with GMS. And when Elder Yashawamba did his video, he said things that I already knew he was going to say before he said it. We sound like broken records, but this has to keep coming out. This is what you call exhortation. You know, you're exalted. You're saying things. You might say, the Lord is coming back over and over. People know that, but you gotta make it, you gotta put it out there. Exhortation. We are the Israelites. We are the 12 tribes. You gotta put, that's what irks people, the fact that we say that we're the Israelites. And their response is, well, salvation is not about identity. No, salvation is about identity. Because you have to have the right identity you have to be an Israelite to be saved. So the first thing, if somebody asks, can I be saved? Well, what my response would be, well, what's your nationality? Oh, my father from my parents are from Mississippi, on both sides. I got a little gad in me or whatever. And you tell them you most likely are an Israelite. If you say that you're a small hat, and we'll tell you, even if you look like an Edomite, we can't always assume that you're an Edomite. You could be a Jake that looks like an Edomite. So you got to tell it to the people. Oh, you just can't, well, you're an Edomite. You're an Edomite. No, some of these, what you call Edomites are actually Jake. Then you got actual Edomites that look like Jake, which they call Tears. So anyway, I spoke in the mic. So I spoke the words, Africa digital currency. Came out in digital currency. So I said, you know what, let me do this. Okay, what's his name? The Blaze. I forget his name. This is Shermer. He said it before. He said it maybe in the summertime of 2025 that everybody's gonna have to get the digital ID. Look at that. And he said the starting point is January of 2026. Did a lot of protesting. January, February, March, April, January, February, March, April, May, almost June. So we're talking almost 5 months later. They had a lot of protests and they pulled it back. Well, just recently, whether you know it or not, I'm here to tell you, because we check, GMS checks everything. The King of England, King Charles, got in his put on his royal regalia with his wife Camilla, the royals, and he proclaimed that everything's going to go digital currency. So you can't really protest the king because you're a subject, you're a slave to the king. Every English citizen is a slave to the king, a subject to the king. Now you can get on Shermer all you want, which he's the president, premier, England. You can protest him. That's politics. You really can't protest. I mean, you can, but you're subjects. You're being disloyal to the crown. Remember, England is different than America. England, we have a voting system. We don't like the guy, you vote him out. You can't do that. You can't vote out the king. He's the king until he dies. Then his son takes over, his oldest son. Okay. So I'm not going to play any of these. I'm just reading the titles. Digital ID. And I believe, what is this dude's name? Somebody help me out. I forget the guy's name. He's been on CNN. He got his own little thing, had his own station, and so forth. So it says digital ID, digital currency. Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is an insider, but I believe he just became an insider. You know, he's worth hundreds. I would say at least $100 million through his deal with Spotify, and he got his podcast. So he makes money. He's paid. This will, when he goes to the UFC and commentates, that's a charity thing. They don't give him no money. Yeah, he does that for fun. This will happen if a centralized digital currency gets established, and it will get established. My estimation is from within 6 months. That's my estimation. It ain't gonna be no 5 years. They're not gonna start in 2030, because that means we would have to still be here for another 4+ years. I want to get out of here. I want the kingdom. Hey, 2027. We're gonna be here. We're gonna do the rest of 2026. In my opinion, in my spiritual, unless the Most High speeds everything up. Next week they put out the chip and push it, and we're gonna be here. We're gonna see 2027. We're gonna most likely do the Eve of Destruction 2027, and hopefully we out of here sometimes in 2027. I don't see this one. There's too much shit going on for us to go to 2030. Okay, here it is again. Digital currency is slavery, right? It's a digital slavery. It's we're going to be digital slaves, digital prisoners. Okay, this is another Joe Rogan. Government's secret plan to control your money through what? Digital. Once you make everything take money and you turn it into look. If you get a check, you go to your bank. Everything everybody got to have a bank account, because in order to get the Roku, I had to have a bank account. In order to get certain like I get Amazon, which I don't even freaking watch. Should just drop that shit. Amazon, you got to give your credit information in case you watch a video. They take it out of your credit card. So to do things, you need digital money. Get a paper check from your job. Sometimes I have worked jobs, or at least a job, where my money goes directly into the bank account. So I would just check the bank account. Oh, okay, they give me my money. Anyway, I'm sorry. So as soon as you take a check or whatever, you work for a company that puts it directly in your bank. That's all digital. You check your balance, checking, savings, checking, whatever, and it'll tell you, you got $5,000 in checking, you got $3,000 in saving, whatever the case may be. But it's all digital until you hit the button and say, I want $1,000 in cash. And go out, hit the button. That digital money turns into cash, and it deducts from what's on the screen digitally. If you have 5,000, you take out 1,000, you got 4,000 digital dollars. Gonna be a time where it's all digital, no paper money. Okay, this is redacted. The the downside of digital currency. Digital currency, right? Digital currency is slavery. That's the downside, because it is slavery. They don't got to hunt you down to get your taxes. You go through a red light. Oh, we got a picture you going through a red light. That's $150 because this is your third time doing it, and we just took it out of your account, your digital account. This is 5 years ago. What is digital currency? And this is going to all lead to the MOTB, which is the mark of the beast. It's time for you guys, if you didn't sell out, if you didn't get the bag from the Rothschilds or whoever, you probably didn't get it from the Rothschild, somebody lower than the Rothschilds. IUIC, ISBK. We really believe you guys sold the fuck out. If you can't see it now, in 2026, the U.S. digital currency is coming, timeline and implications, finance explained. This might be a good video to watch. And it's short. Why is no one else talking about this issue? Cryptocurrency. Whitney Webb, the digital currency trap. The problem with digital currency with Jordan, this is this guy, right? Jordan Peterson. Learn how to be a monster. He's from Boston. Digital assets explain, Bitcoin, currencies, and more. So you can watch all of these. How does digital currency work? And this is all leading to the what? MOTB. Look at this. There's even more. And these guys can't, General Yohana can't see this. You know? Hey, what did Alonzo say to Hoyt, to Jake? He said, can't you open your eyes, man? You can't see? So that's what we're saying. No, you see it, you just got a bag not to see it. The dystopian reality, dystopia goes back to the word dystopia, which means bad place. Utopia means good place. Paya, place. Dystopian. The dystopian reality of central bank digital currencies. What is a central bank digital currency? CBDC. And we here at GMS, we were the premier camp that first laid it on you about the CBDC. CBDC, central bank digital currency. And that bank is a central bank, and it's ultimately is going to come out of the world central bank is going to come out of London. Because America is not the top country on the planet. They just represent the military. DC represents the military. The pros and cons of a central bank digital currency. This man, Nero was against digital when he was 45. Now he's with it. Why? Because he's a puppet. President Trump signs currency bill. He does what he's told to do. He's a character. That's why he got up in office. He got a bunch of slow ass, dumb ass, backward ass Edomites. Some of them were Jake. He set up that whole MAGA thing, and they went with it, and they put him in office. He made a statement. He said, I love my poorly educated people. Why would you make a statement like that? Because they're dummies. You can pull a wool over their eyes. Having a central bank digital currency is a sign of weakness. Great Reset, money-wise, global government by before 2030. The Great Reset, blah blah blah. So you might want to watch these. You might want to type in digital currency or digital currency, and educate yourself. What is currency? What is cryptocurrency? Explained in 5 minutes. The digital dollar explained 4 years ago. What is digital currency? What is a digital dollar? How digital currencies works. So it's no excuse. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. Let me do this. Give me a second, y'all. Digital currency and the mark of the beast. See what happens. Okay, mark of the beast and digital currency. In case you don't know, that's mark of the beast is found in Revelation 13 and 16 and other places in the book of Revelation. Digital currency and the mark of the beast. Is a digital dollar the mark of the beast? When they put, well, the mark is a chip. Is the mark of the beast here? You know what I'm gonna do? Let me click on him because he claims to be. We had an interview with this guy. He visited the camp, and we shook him up. He got shook up. Anyway, let's go ahead and play this. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Tucker, don't take us down. We're your friend.
In the specific, the mark of the beast described in Revelation, it's a mark without which you cannot conduct commerce. So basically, everyone's compelled to receive the mark, but those who receive the mark make a big mistake in receiving it, right. And they are punished for it in a big way.
Oh, so he's aware of it. He's aware that the mark got to be the chip, and you're in trouble. So what is he going to do? We're going to see what he's going to do when they make that announcement about the MOTB, the fulfillment of Revelation 13 and 16. I'm gonna go to him. I'm gonna click on the videos. I'm gonna go to General Yohana. I'm gonna go to General Bishop Nathaniel. I'm gonna go to the Wi-Fi. I'm gonna go to Tucker Carlson. I'm gonna go to Joe Rogan. I'm gonna go to a lot of people. Once they make that announcement that you got to get the chip to see, the whole world's gonna shift. Pivot, right? Let's go. See all that weak ass shit Nate be talking, and he got his deacons and his bishops falling for that bullshit, man. And I believe them guys. They say, you know what? I don't know, man. I don't want to say. I ain't gonna say nothing. But I think GMS is right. I ain't gonna say nothing because you know how Nate is. You know how Nate gets. Yawasop ain't gonna say nothing because Yawasop is kind of like Fredo. Not as stupid as Fredo. He's Fredo of the IUIC because anything that Bishop Nate says, he's with. Ain't no damn microchip. Yeah, but as soon as Nate says I had a dream, I had a vision, and the spirit showed me that the mark of the beast is a microchip. Guess what? Yawasop gonna see it. They're gonna experience an epiphany. All right. I don't want to make this long, but it's getting long. Let me start this again. My man Tucker Carlson, what's up? Let's go.
A specific case of the mark of the beast described in Revelation, it's a mark without which you cannot conduct commerce. So basically everyone's compelled to receive the mark, but those who receive the mark make a big mistake in receiving it.
Right.
And they are punished for it in a big way. So if we get to a place in the next couple of years where you can't participate digitally in commerce or in communications without the mark of the beast, without the permanent mark on the blockchain, like what's your option?
I mean, your option is just not to conduct business and do those things. I mean, God will find a way for those people, even if it's the end of their lives. That's just the way that's going to shake down. What'll probably happen, too, is you will have people in tech, and I know they exist, who are alarmed by this, who will intentionally devise ways around this for people. Similar to people creating catacombs for the persecuted Christians in the early days of the Roman Empire.
Oh, that's good. Spiritual catacombs. Yep, hidden underground. You had Jake. They had the catacombs. That's a whole different subject, a whole nother subject right there. We're gonna eat. We're gonna eat pursuant to Isaiah. We are gonna eat. We're gonna smile. We're gonna laugh, and some of us are gonna get our head chopped off. We're gonna get guillotined. And get your mind set for death. You will be, and it'll be probably pay-per-view, televised. Hey. The disciples, hey, look, Peter, according to this history, he tried to run away from his judgment. When he saw the Lord come to him, he was on the road, I don't know if it was the Appian Way or wherever the hell he was, in Rome or Jerusalem or whatever. I got to go into where he got executed. But anyway, he's supposed, according to the history, according to the legend, he was going the other direction. He didn't want to get he didn't want to get crucified, so he ran, and he saw the Lord, and he said, "Lord, what are you doing here?" He said, "I'm going over there to get crucified again." And he put his head down. He went back, and gave himself up. That's the history. Okay, that's that's something that was said. I mean, you look it up yourself, you might be able to find it. Maybe not. Now, in the case of Paul, he was under house arrest in an apartment, and the saints were giving him food. They would bring food to him. And the day of his sentence, he was ready. He said, "I'm ready." Well, he said that in 2 Timothy 4. He said that he was ready to give himself up. He said, "I'm going to die." You know, he spoke about Timothy and I think he mentioned Titus. He mentioned a couple of guys. He mentioned Luke. He said he told Luke to grab the parchment paper, because he was those 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Romans, Ephesians. Those were actual letters that he wrote on parchment paper and sealed and were given to different churches. Okay, this goes to the church in Corinth, right? And he was cursing him out. Corinth, he was cursing him out. But anyway, the saints was giving him food, and then when the day for him to die, he said, "Okay, I'm ready to die." Like I said, read 2 Timothy 4, about the 5th, 6th verse. Read the whole chapter. He says, "I'm ready to give myself up, and I'm going to get a crown when I do this." So if you one of the ones that get caught up there and you're going to get your head chopped off, hey, get ready, get your mind ready for death. Get your head chopped off, it's quick, your spirit leaves your body, goes to the spiritual realm, and then before you know it, you're going to get risen up first before the saints that are alive, right? Because you're going to get risen up with Abba, Masha, all of them. I'm going to play this.
You will have people who will find ways around this to hack it. I've got a friend, Tucker, he's become a Christian in recent years, and he works for some of the big companies. And he goes, some of the stuff that you see cannot be explained through normal math, material stuff. Some of the stuff that's coming through
from AI.
Yeah.
In the specific case of the mark of the beast described in Revelation, it's a mark without which you cannot conduct commerce. So basically everyone's compelled to receive the mark, but those who receive the mark make a big mistake in receiving it.
Right.
And they are punished for it in a big way. So if we get to a place in the next couple of years where you can't participate digitally in commerce or in communications without the mark of the beast, without the permanent mark on the blockchain, like what's your option?
I mean, your option is just not
Now you notice he showed when he was speaking about the mark. They showed
permanent mark on the
so-
blockchain. Like, what's your option?
I mean, your option is just not to conduct business and do those things. I mean, God will find a way for those people, even.
Wait a minute, let me bring it back. I'm sorry, y'all.
Participate digitally in commerce or in
See, you can do. That's not the mark. GOCC said the mark is having a smartphone. No, it's not. If you get an app, they do away with the paper dollar. Everything's CBDC, central bank digital currency. You will have an app on your phone to conduct business. You don't need a credit card no more. The credit card information is going to be in the phone. This is not the mark of the beast. Well, if you hold it in your right hand, well, what if you hold it in your left hand? This is not the mark of the beast. When you are guilty of accepting the mark of the beast is when they take that information, that technology in that app, and they put it in a chip and they put it in your right hand or in your head, your brain. That's when you accepted the mark of the beast. This is not the mark of the beast. This is one step closer to the mark of the beast. So I'm gonna say it again. When that happens, when they do away with paper dollars, everything goes digital. Make sure you have your smartphone. Don't come asking me, Tahar, is this the mark of the beast? Because they're telling me I got to get an app on my cell phone. I said, no, nigga, it's not the mark of the beast. It's the mark, but it's not in your hand. So I guarantee you, this got to be it, Tahar. You say, no, I ain't going to throw. I threw my cell phone. Who you going to talk to? Eventually, everything will be, you're going to lose your cell phone because you're not going to have access to your cell phone. If you don't got everything you turn on is through that chip. Like I said, it's going to be a major. Please forgive me for sounding like a broken record, but this is very serious. Oh, look, last night, like I said, the elder Yashawamba, he did an hour and change. Elder Monaghan, I forget how long he did it because I was like half asleep, but I was laying backing off of what he was doing, and he did the same thing. So the spirit's on him, and all this. Well, last week, remember last week? Inside joke. Last week I was doing. I would do videos on one subject, and all of a sudden, in the middle of that video, I would go into a rant on the MOTB. Hey, General Yohana, Bishop Nate, the rest of y'all should be watching these videos, man. Like I said, if you guys haven't sold out and you just can't see it, that can mean one thing. That can mean you guys are not part of the elect. You know you're Israelites. You're just not a part of the elect. You like it says in what is it, 1 John 2, verse 20. You have an unction from the Holy One, and you know all things. Well, if you don't know all things, another thing I gotta say about Captain Tazariak is in his mind. What if GMS? What if those motherfuckers from GMS is correct? That's in the back of his mind. Same with Katazak. Captain Katazak. I believe that they're sincere, man. They just under this guy Yohana. Yohana, you gotta tell him the truth, brother. Yeah, take that bag of money. We can't prove that you sold out, but come on, General Yohana's a smart guy. When we were cool with each other, if you threw a problem at and that happened to me, I would come to General Yohana and say this happened, that happened. What I do about it? He'll say you do this, that, and the other in your problem. He was a good problem solver, So, we had a history. We had a history with Bishop Nate with his stubborn ass. But hey, if they sold out, what are they gonna do with the chip when it really comes? Because they got to know that it's coming. They have to know that the men of GMS from the apostles on down have the truth, and we're the premier One West group or Israelite group period that goes into this subject over and over again. Anyway, let me do this. Let me bring this back. Oh, you got these women living. You got a lot of these fine, these baddies living in cars now. These women are not doing good. Digital ID in the mark of the beast. Digital ID in the mark of the beast. Revelation 13 explained. Okay. So Edomites know about this. Digital ID and the mark of the beast. Revelation 13 explained. You know what I'm going to do? Let me click on this. Let me just see what they got to say.
Digital ID.
Because Tucker did mention Revelation 13:16.
Baruch will read in Revelation 13 that it tells us so that no one can buy or sell unless he has the mark, that is the name of the beast or the number of its name. We see that in England the digital ID will be mandatory and other countries are expected to follow suit. Nobody will be able to work unless they have this digital ID. Question, Baruch, is this the precursor for the mark of the beast?
Well, it's not the mark of the beast, I'll say that. And the reason for that is if you look, the mark of the beast requires allegiance to the Antichrist empire. Now, I don't believe...
Yeah, when you take the chip, when you agree to take the chip, that's allegiance. The Roman soldiers, they got, what do you call that? Iron, like the fraternities. The Greek fraternities, they get that mark on them with a hot iron. And Roman soldiers got that to show their allegiance to the Roman Empire.
Believe that the government of England is a righteous government. We know that they just recognize a Palestinian state. I'm sure that pleases the Antichrist and not the God of Israel. But I don't think that we should say that the nation and the government of England is the Antichrist, at least not yet. So it is not the mark of the beast.
Thank you. Digital ID. Baruch will read in Revelation 13.
Okay, he didn't mention anything about the chip. Let's look at some more. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Okay, this is mandatory digital ID. Is this the mark of the beast? When it goes in your right hand or forehead, the global push for digital ID, a dress rehearsal. This was 7 months ago. A dress rehearsal for the mark of the beast. Let me read that again. The global push for digital ID. You're going to have digital ID first before you have the actual chip put in your hand. Please forgive me once again, for sounding like a broken record, but some of you people are hard-headed. Okay, the mark of the beast isn't what you think it is. It's deeper. I guess that's supposed to represent the chip. I believe this guy, this is 4 years ago. Can you take the mark of the beast by accident? Can you take the mark of the beast by accident? Prophecy points. Okay, this is a country singer. What is his name? I forget his name. I believe he's a Jake. And I remember this when this first came, when he had this interview. How to avoid taking the mark of the beast, which is a microchip. So let's listen to this. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
It says anybody that takes the mark of the beast, that their name is not written in the Lamb's Book of Life, meaning the names that are written down, the ones that are going to heaven. Your name is not written in the Lamb's Book of Life if you take that. I mean, this is no joke.
How do you not take it?
How do you not take the mark?
Yeah.
You have to be willing to die, suffer. I think about, there's Christians right now all over the world being killed by the hundreds of thousands. We just don't talk about it. They're killing them in China. They're killing them in North Korea. They're killing them in Africa. They're killing them in the Middle East. Why are we above those people? You think America gets to dodge this at some point? Absolutely not. It's a perilous thing to bear the name of Jesus Christ in this world. It says...
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Anyway, let's look at it a little bit more and I'm gonna get ready to close. The mark of the beast according to scripture. Digital ID is the mark of the beast. The mark is bearing the name of the beast. "4 years ago, mark of the beast, how China's cashless society points to end time prophecy." I said this, and others have said this, that China will be the model for the rest of the world. This is why I believe they had this meeting with Trump going over there to China, and who did he bring with him? High tech people and bankers. Tech people and bankers. None of them is saying the mark of the beast is the chip, currency of Bitcoin, and the mark of the beast. Is China setting up the world for the mark of the beast? I believe so. They're going to be the model country that does that. Is the mark of the beast like a tattoo, getting closer? No, there's no video saying it's a chip. Oh, there we go. Wait a minute. I spoke too soon. You see that? So I guess I watched the video. This is I watched the video. What exactly is the mark of the beast? Let me do this. If you look right there, there's 666. You got the hand with the chip in it. Boom, right there. Right there. What exactly is the mark of the beast? So he got it right. What exactly is the mark of the beast? You might want to watch this one. Look at a couple more, and then I'm gonna close it. China. There is again. China is setting up the world for the mark of the beast. That's going to be the testing ground. The 7 mark of the beast. Could CBDC be the mark of the beast? Only when it's put in your hand or on your forehead, your brain. How digital currency could control who can buy and sell. Anyway, let's do this. Digital currency. Africa. And digital currency. Okay, here we go. Why Nigeria just launched Africa's, this is 5 months ago. Why Nigeria just launched Africa's digital currency. The Inari experiment. That's one step closer to the mark of the beast, which the whole world is going to be tested. The horrifying future with CBDCs. Okay, this man right here is German. He could be, I believe he's a Jake. His name is Richard Werner. I did videos on him. And he said that the central bank is going to come out of London, England. And he said that everybody's going to get a microchip. But he doesn't say pursuant to Revelation 13 and 16. So he doesn't look at it with spiritual eyes. He looks at it with, I guess you can say, technical eyes. Secular eyes. And I got a couple of videos of his on my Odyssey page, so you can look them up. Africa just, now this guy's supposed to be this revolution. He's insider. He's control opposition. Africa just ditched the dollar. All right. The first to launch a digital currency. Okay, so it's giving you list right here: South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria. So that means they're planning. Okay, right here, see this? The continent of Africa. They're going to ship everybody. And you got Bishop Nate, and I said this before, I'm going to continue to say it. You got Bishop Nate, that knucklehead, going over to Africa, physically going to Africa, teaching people in Africa that they're Israelites, but he's not teaching them about the chip. China's going to get it first. Then it's probably going to go to Nigeria, Kenya, major places in Africa. So these people that listen to the IUIC, when it's time to take the chip, they're going to take the chip because it has nothing to do with the scriptures. It's just how money changes. So he didn't warn them. And the Most High could destroy him for that. If he doesn't wake the fuck up, the Most High might put him back in that deathbed. Remember when he was in that deathbed, Passover 2022, he called on, and you can go to it too. Go to IUIC Passover 2022. Watch the first 10-15 minutes. He mentioned Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, and then what's his name? Kanai Gabar mentioned Yahweh while Yahweh Shai. And when he said Yahweh Shai, he stumbled on the word, which I took it to mean he hadn't said it in so long. He stumbled on the word, on the name rather, because he was scared. A couple months after, when he got back into health, back into he was healthy again. He went back to the Jesus thing, and none of his people, his followers, can say Yahweh. They can't blurt out Yahweh while Yahweh Shai. But he can. Every once in a while, he'll say Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. He'll say some people call him, his name is Yeshua. Some people call him Yahweh Shai. So he's playing with the Most High's truth. Favor of CBDC. The collapse of Nigeria's CBDC. What went wrong? No, they're going to get it right. They're going to knock out the let me see. Let me try to bring that back. African Digital Currency Strategies 2025. This is 7 months ago. Africa goes digital, ditches US dollar. Africa just 3 months ago, Africa just broke the US dollar with BRICS digital currency. South Africa, part of the BRICS. China, part of BRICS. But it's going to be digital. Zimbabwe introduces gold-backed digital currencies. You know what? Let me go ahead and play this. Fair use.
Zimbabwe is introducing a digital currency that is backed by gold, and the reasoning behind it is to stabilize the Zimbabwean dollar and protect citizens from currency fluctuations. The gold-backed digital tokens will be a form of electronic money backed by Zimbabwe's gold reserves held by the Central Bank of Zimbabwe. They are doing this in order to help the Zimbabwean dollar holders that are struggling with the local currency. So by using this digital currency, they can actually be protected in some way because it is backed by gold. Zimbabwe is introducing.
Okay. Almost out of here. Right, Africa, the continent of Africa has 54 countries. 54 African countries, that's all of them. 54 countries just merged into one digital superpower. So you got the digital African dollar, let's call it. Africa's 2030 master plan exposed. You might want to watch that. Okay, AfriPay, Africa Pay, Africa's digital currency. Two months ago, Nigeria and South Africa power Africa's explosive rise in stablecoin payments. I'm sorry, this is the retail hype. What is this? Runs. So you see all these, how many videos did I show you came up? What, 50 videos? I don't know. And see, they're not going to be ready for this Africa because Nate didn't warn them. So they'll say that they're Israelites and then get a chip put in them. All right, this is 3 months ago. This is the president of India. They going digital inside BRICS' secret new money system, which is going to be digital, backed by gold. So let me go over here. Okay, let's see what's happening. E is so divided and exposed. It's just a matter of time before the fall completely. GMS Watchmen response, Moses official trailer. Ben Kingsley, oh boy, Ben Kingsley gonna play Moses. You see what's going on, y'all. Hey, this guy, the Minister of Wellness, is bugging. Let me play a little bit of this.
Second Thessalonians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself to be God. Verse 8. Then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. The spirit of the Lord's mouth are the prophets of the Lord, primarily the man of the great millstone. Kol halal Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Rekah Quadash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops, Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity.
Now let me say this. Okay, he's going into something else. Okay, this is recent. Like I said, when Bishop Nate goes to Africa, then he's a speaker. He's a top speaker. He's a camp guy, you know. Doesn't do it in the States. He likes the limelight over there. Now he's over there because he was over there as of a couple of weeks. Maybe he's still out there. I don't know. Or went back out there. He's given a lot of time to Africa, which the Most High, the scriptures don't say that. It says go to the end of the earth, which is the West, America. The focus is here on America. I sound like a broken record, forgive me. So here he is in Nigeria teaching the people, but when the mark of the beast, when the chip comes, they're going to take it because he forgot to tell them, oh, the mark of the beast, that chip thing is a mark of the beast, don't take it. Like I said, I'll pay to see what you're going to say when they make this thing mandatory. So, I mean, you can watch this video, 36 minutes. I'll try to watch it. So he's not a man of the Lord unless he repent. He doesn't have it. Somebody says, should I listen to alert? No, you're going to be deceived by this guy.
Their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. The would-be judges, the 144,000, the tabernacle of David, ordained to be the ruling class government, the ruling class people here on earth above all other nations, all other races of people, to usher in the kingdom of heaven here on earth as it is in heaven. The 12 tribes of Israel, all right, Amos 9 and 11, and to the rest of the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled birds, the Israelite foreigners among the heathen that have the appearance of the heathen. This is not a so-called black only thing, right? For the Edomites have been exposed, and the truth is out there. And also to the few Akwaf, meaning the sisters that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And there is too much evidence to prove to you exactly who the Edomites here on earth today. All right, you got Esau's tears.
And you heard it first from the One Westers. That includes ISUPK, IUIC, GMS. These other Yah Israelites, we call them Yah Israelites, you know. If you ask them about who the white man is, they'll say they're sons of Japhet.
Albert Linderman, a Jewish person, telling you that they are Esau Edom. Who was Esau Edom? That book, I bought that book, 20-some years ago. About 20 years ago. I bought that book for about, $15? That book went as high as $10,000. It's by Charles Weissman. Also,
because we got into the book. Them prices go up when we get into it.
So, a Jewish individual letting you know that they are Esau Edom. Yair Divity.
See, we the Israelites and One Westers get things popping.
The Esau, the Edomites today, another Jewish person letting you know that they're Esau Edom. You even have this wine. Let's see if we can. Yeah. Edom, they know. Of course, The Roman Empire of the Edomite by William Beeston, 1853. I have that on the shelf behind me. And C.F. Parker, all right? The short study of Edom, Esau, and Jewry in the 1941 Jewish Encyclopedia. Let's get those receipts. In 1925, Salakia, 1925 Jewish Encyclopedia tells you that Esau Edom is modern Jewry. 1925 Jewish Encyclopedia, Volume 5, page 41. They are not.
Now, for you people that don't know what an Edomite is, so he's explaining it to you, going into all these books I got a couple of these books. dealing with who is Esau, the Edomites, Rome, the kingdom of the Edomites or whatever. But anyway, if you don't know what we're talking about with this whole Esau thing, white people descended from the Edomites, just say, could you do a video on the Edomites in the scriptures? And we'll give you all the scriptures. We'll break it down to you. And this truth is being put out there in the firmament pursuant to 2nd Ezra chapter 6. You got to read 2nd Ezra chapter 6, 2nd Ezra chapter 4, 2nd Ezra chapter 9. Pretty much the whole 2nd Ezra and the first.
Israel or Judah, and they are not. Well, you still got, okay? Edomite Jews begin to call themselves Hebrews and Israelites in 1860. Encyclopedia Judaica, 1971, volume 10 and 23. Heavy, undeniable receipts that they just want to ignore, right? That you cannot ignore. Same way they know the name, which is Yahweh. Okay, Yahi, Hawa exist. When you see Lord in all capitals, capital, that's where you get your YHWH. Okay? And that's exactly what it means. Yahweh. Okay? He exists, he is. Alright? And if you're saying it, if you are that individual, you would say, I am. You wouldn't say he is. Duh. So let's get the copyright statute, because I got information that I don't want anyone trying to throw a strike on a video for using this information. But Esau Edom is being exposed, and Esau Edom is divided, because you have, once again, the Christianism claiming to be the Israelites, while declaring that the Jewish people are Edomite converts and frauds. And then you have the rabbis declaring that white Christianism, Roman Catholicism, Christianism, both in America and in the West, that white people in America, in the West, and in Europe are in fact Edom. So their house is completely divided.
It's beautiful that you said that. Let me add on to that. There's at least a couple of rabbis, at least 3 I heard on Alex Jones, had certain rabbis, clips of certain rabbis. They say that the top so-called scholars / rabbis that study the Orthodox small hats, which I used to talk to them every freaking day, and I used to pick their brains about we always used to talk about Israelite and history and stuff. So what we say, we ran into a small hat that passed the camp, and I asked him a question. He stopped. He talked to us. You can watch it. This was this past weekend. And when I said reincarnation, he said, "Oh yeah, he said it." I didn't know that. He said that reincarnation is biblical. He said, "Yes, no, reincarnation. Yeah. If you do something wrong in the next life, you pay for it." So them small hats believe in reincarnation. Now, when I told him about the Sabbath, that the Sabbath is not Friday sundown and Saturday sundown, it's based upon the new moon, you know what he said? He stopped, he paused, and he said, "Well, we believe," meaning that he's not knocking what we're saying, but this is what we believe.
Okay? But I'll just read it. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is permitted by the copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. So I got quite a few videos that I'd like to play. They're all really short. I think the longest one is maybe almost 5 minutes long, a little over 4 minutes. But they're all 2 or 3 minutes long, and I'd like to play them and just bring out some scriptures, because these videos together tell a great story. The majority of them came from April O'Neil, the water sister. Love you so much. Appreciate you, everything that you do. Yeah, so we just got to continue to push at the word of the Lord And in doing so, Esau, Edom must be exposed, for they are the biggest threat to the Lord's people. They're the biggest threat to the planet, because they're in that, if I can't have it, no one can. The whole Samson option. And where is that in the Bible? Where is that in the scriptures? Okay? So I'm going to start with this first video, all right? And how Edomites planned the destruction of a particular person who began to speak against them. And then I'm going to play another video how right-wing Christianism, extreme white racist Christians are planning a war on Jacob and anyone who's brown for that matter. And their real problem is their own people, the J-ish. All right? Because Amalek hogged the blessing of Esau to himself while using Esau as a whooping stick.
Yeah, if you're going to get mad at somebody, you got to get mad at the small hats. And I don't blame them. You want to be the top guy. Hey, like they run Hollywood, they run the finances. They should say, yes, we do. We did it because we studied. We disciplined. Why be ashamed of that? Why be ashamed to be LeBron James? They say Jake dominates the NBA. Well, the small hats dominate the whole financial thing and the technical stuff. They all small hats. Why should you be ashamed of that? Why would you call me a anti-Semitic for saying that you guys run shit? You run it. Who runs boxing? All the champions are mostly Jake, the Latin tribes. Ain't nothing to be ashamed about. Anyway, it says here a homestead journey upload, which I subscribe to her. She makes great videos, and I even use clips from her. And when the copyright comes up, it's copywritten, but she allows me to play it. I don't use her videos that much, but she a real one. She's married to an Edomite. He appears to be an Edomite. Could be Jake. Middle-class Americans are secretly living in U-Hauls. Well, they're doing better than living in cars just to survive. And I've seen them myself. When you see somebody that's homeless in a car, you know that person's homeless. If they're not in the car or they sleep in the car, you got all this stuff in the back seat. All this stuff in the back seat. And they're always Edomites. Very rare you see a Jake living like that. They're always Edomites. And you got some pretty girls. You got a lot of beautiful women that are freaking homeless, man. I don't know what your problem is.
To control Jake and the other nations, and then didn't share the wealth with the rest of his Edomite brothers fairly, and that's why they're
so Edomites get mad at us, the Israelites, but not get mad at the small hats. I listen to my man Rich Cooper. Oh, this dude is a real one. He said, "Why you should never live with your girlfriend." Oh, you can live with her as long as you have your own place.
Angry
when she acts up, because I'm telling you by experience. I always had my own roof over my head. I'd be with a woman. I'd be with them. I could deal with them for a month. Then I need a break, or a couple of weeks, a couple of days. Yeah, that look, baby, why don't you? I'm changing something. Baby, why don't you give your house up because you're paying too much rent? We live together. You can live under me. Nope. If anything, have her live under you. I had women that live under my fucking roof, not the other way around. Okay, never do that. Never do that. Never make that stupid move because it's a control thing, and it works on both sides. Because I reminded them, look, bitch, this is my house. You get stupid. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more.
Here and broke, poor, and falling apart here in America, because the little hats, Amalek, hogged the blessing of Esau to themselves. They don't even acknowledge their brethren, their own people as their people. But here we go.
You have this Iranian general just sitting in a chair with his face blurred. He's speaking in English, which means it's to me, okay? But he has an Iranian accent. I know it's an Iranian accent because I lived in LA for 10 years. Like, let me tell you about Charlie Kirk. I'm like, what do you got for me, General? He's like, did you know Charlie Kirk was killed by your government? I was like, yes, I did know that. I did actually. He's like, well, while we were hacking Cash Patel for funsies, we got into your FBI's mainframe, no big deal. Apparently the password's Valhalla 123. And we found documents that revealed that your government plotted the murder of Charlie Kirk and it didn't go according to plan. What? Our government botched an assassination attempt? We would never. He says, well, you know, Charlie Kirk was not killed by a bullet. He was killed by an explosive device planted into his microphone that was clipped to his shirt. I know. Mind blown. Better choice of words? Sure.
Oh, this guy, I hope he's still surviving. He's telling the truth, man. He's telling the truth. Anyway, I'm going to close it. Shalom with that. I'm going to say shalom. On to the next.